What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlemania here, back with another video. The 80s was a great time for National Wrestling Alliance fans and the various territories that comprised it before Vinnie Mac gobbled them up like Pac-Man eating power pellets. Here are 10 NWA stars from the 80s, and we don't mean Eazy-E or Dr. Dre. Number 1. Ronnie Garvin. While younger fans remember Garvin for his brief run as NWA World Heavyweight Champion in Jim Crockett Promotions and later run in the WWF, Garvin had a prestigious career in the territories and was a top draw in several of them. At 45, Garvin felt it was time to retire. He has strong thoughts on staying too long. It was time for me to do an exit. You gotta know when to quit. You stay in the business until you're 60 years old, you look like an imbecile. First of all, you know you are broke and you become a has-been. That is what I hate to see. Guys are in the ring and they are 60 years old. I mean, come on. I know it's not real, but your body, you look like an old douchebag. Your skin is sagging, but I was 45 years old and I said goodbye. Time to go. Garvin currently owns several used car dealerships and makes occasional special appearances on the indie circuit. Number 2. Jimmy Garvin. The stepson of Ronnie Garvin, gorgeous Jimmy often worked as a cocky but cowardly heel, enraging audiences in world-class championship wrestling alongside his valet Precious, then teaming in the AWA with Mr. Electricity, Steve Regal, to upset the Road Warriors for the promotion's tag team belts. Jimmy worked in Jim Crockett Promotions in the mid-80s and its successor WCW, teaming with Michael Hayes as a freebird. Garvin worked in WCW until the mid-90s, before hitting the indie circuit. He worked for 5 days in WWE Creative, but apparently didn't like it, and quit. Garvin now works as an airline pilot. Number 3. Ole Anderson. The founding member of the Four Horsemen had partial ownership in Georgia Championship Wrestling and booked the promotion as well, pairing the men who would become known as the Road Warriors. He worked behind the scenes at WCW during the early 90s until his dismissal. In 2007, Anderson was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, but still makes appearances at wrestling conventions. His book, Inside Out, How Corporate America Destroyed Professional Wrestling, and his various interviews have earned him a reputation as wrestling's grumpiest old man. Number 4. Bob Armstrong. Bullet Bob Armstrong, aka Joseph James, was a top draw in NWA's various territories, especially in the southeastern United States. His 4 sons became wrestlers, with Brian James going on to considerable success as the Road Dogg, and Armstrong teamed with them throughout his career. Bob competed in TNA during his son's 2006 feud with the Latin American Exchange. He was inducted into the 2011 WWE Hall of Fame class. Despite his age of 77, he continues making occasional appearances in the ring. Number 5. Jimmy Valiant. Handsome Jimmy may not cut the same striking profile as he did in the 70s and 80s, but the boy from New York City is still active in the industry, promoting Boogie's Wrestling Camp and Hall of Fame Museum, and making personal appearances. The WWE Hall of Famer enjoyed success as part of the Valiant Brothers tag team, as well as a successful run in Memphis and Jim Crockett Promotions. He keeps in the public eye, and the best way to see where he'll be next is his website. The website is one of the most eclectic you'll find. Beside a cornucopia of Jim Valiant merchandise, you'll find a Jim Valiant comic strip, episodes of wrestling from his Boogie Wrestling Camp, and videos of classic Valiant matches. Number 6. Tommy Rich. Tennessee's own Thomas Richardson shot to the top of the industry at the age of 24 when he defeated Harley Race for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship on the 27th of April 1981 in Augusta, Georgia. Although Rich only held the belt for 4 days, it was an impressive achievement in an already impressive career that saw him as one of the country's top babyfaces. However, the NWA World Championship proved a hard act to follow, and although Rich always found work, things were never the same, whether it be in Memphis, Jim Crockett Promotions, or even ECW as the Big Don, leader to the full-blooded Italians. Now a grandfather, Rich still makes appearances at wrestling events, even stepping into the ring. Number 7. Bobby Eaton. Long considered a wrestler's wrestler, Bobby Eaton excelled in the territories, in different incarnations of the Midnight Express, the Dangerous Alliance, and the Blue Bloods. Whether he worked as a singles or tag team wrestler, Eaton could be counted on for a good match. After WCW folded, Eaton worked on the independent circuit until retiring in 2015. He has suffered health problems and had a pacemaker installed in 2013. Last summer, he went missing briefly after a reported blood sugar imbalance. Wrestlers including The Rock alerted fans on Twitter, and Eaton was found safe and sound. Number 8. Stan Lane. Trained by Ric Flair, Stan Lane got his break as one half of the Fabulous Ones with Steve Keirn in Memphis. He then teamed with Bobby Eaton in the Midnight Express after Eaton's partner, Dennis Condrey, disappeared. The Eaton Lane team worked in Jim Crockett Promotions, winning the NWA World Tag Team Championship. Lane's tag team work continued in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, this time alongside Tom Pritchard as the Heavenly Bodies. He worked in the WWF briefly as a color commentator and appeared on the indie circuit, retiring in 2005. He now makes rare personal appearances at wrestling conventions. Number 9. Harley Race. 7-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion Harley Race held the NWA's most prestigious belt at a time when champions had to be ready to legitimately defend the belt in event of a double cross. Long considered one of wrestling's legitimate tough men, Race only dropped the belt when told to. Race's run in the WWF as the King of Wrestling introduced him to new fans, and during the early 90s, Race worked as a manager in WCW, guiding talent such as Vader and Lex Luger. A 1995 car crash ended his in-ring career, but Race transitioned into teaching wrestling, opening his wrestling school and promotion. As far as Race is concerned, wrestling is around, should be around, and as long as I have anything to do with it, is gonna be around. While Race's decades of bumps have led to health problems, recent reports that Race is in a nursing home were misleading, as Race was one part of a physical rehabilitation program rather than a permanent placement. And number 10. Magnum T.A. Terry Allen's career was cut short by a tragic auto accident, ending a main event push that many claim was headed for an NWA World Heavyweight Championship. His courageous battle back saw him regain his mobility, and while his in-ring career was over, he made occasional appearances in Jim Crockett Promotions. He now spends his time operating a hedge fund business and a communications firm. Well guys, there you have it, 10 NWA stars from the 80s and what they're up to now. Be sure to leave your comments below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.